Hey, this is Peter Sage, multiple international #1 best-selling author on human behavior, founder of the Sage Academy, and somebody who is very interested in peak performance. And speaking of which, I have one of the most legendary coaches in peak performance, sales training, mindset, and executive coaching standing next to me here, the legendary Stephen Quayle. Steve, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Peter. How are you?
Outstanding. We've just gone through a 3-day event here that I put on in Cyprus. I invited Steve as my guest. We go back many, many years. I've seen people like the legendary Bob Proctor, for example, say that Steve is one of the best coaches on sales training he has ever seen. That is wow. And Steve, what do you see as some of the biggest challenges that especially executives or sales professionals actually face these days?
Yeah, it's a good question, Pete. It's mindset, usually, yeah? Speaking of Bob, he was one of my mentors, as you know, but I had another mentor who was one of what I always say, a quintessential English motivational speaker, a great guy called Richard Denny. And one of Richard's key sayings was, nothing happens anywhere without a sale first being made. And so selling is not just selling, it's maybe just selling your kids on the idea of being decent people, doing well in their studies, as it was with
cleaning the bedroom.
As it was with me recently, selling my wife on going to a particular destination on vacation instead of where she, initially should. So you get the picture. Yeah. So we're always selling.
Yeah. Well, and there's a difference, between what people would call selling, which you say everything's a relationship. Yeah. And if you're in a relationship, then one person has the ability to influence. Obviously, that is led a lot by the values of the person. There's a difference between influence and manipulation.
Yeah.
I know you only work with high conscious people with high values, and it's really about being able to become the best version of yourself. And when you're in a situation where there is a transaction value there, that can be the difference between red on the bottom line and a lot of black on the bottom line, correct?
Yeah, 100%, but you're right, it's all about influence, but it's higher consciousness influence that I'm interested in. So I'm interested in working with people who are stuck, who are having, challenges from the past that are maybe holding them back. We speak to a lot of people that when we dig right down, it's like, oh, mum and dad programmed that in there, that type of thing. So I'm really, really wanting to work with people who want to make a shift in that sort of direction.
Yeah, which is, to be fair, most people. Now, if you're lucky enough, and I say that with a lot of hand on heart and sincerity, if you're lucky enough to be able to work with this guy, he has a waiting list, he has clients that call him from all around the world, he is the top of his game, then I promise you this guy will make a difference to not only you, the quality of life, the bottom line in your business, and you'll be wanting to recommend him to your friends if you don't want them to have the competitive advantage that he's going to give you. So Steve, anyway, great to see you, brother.
Thank you.
I'm excited for whoever's going to be taking the challenge.
Yeah, what a fantastic weekend. Thank you, Peter.
More than welcome.
Cheers.